A Chinese woman attempted to scam a New York man out of a large sum of money, but she was caught, arrested, and now she's being deported. Was this the case of a simple scammer, or are we being infiltrated? Is there a larger problem with China trying to extort us and attack us from within? So the story starts out last week of October 2024. A guy received a call, and similar to my last video, this caller pretended to be from a financial institution. So this elderly person receiving this call from who they thought was a person at their financial institution, telling them that they needed to secure their cash, they fell for the bait, and the scammers pretty much just convinced this guy that he needed to secure his money, probably telling them that he needed to put his money in a deposit box and secure his cash. So they gave him all the instructions on how to package his money up. They told him how to package the money up. They told him where to meet to drop the money off. And that's when Chen drove out to Ticonderoga, New York, and tried to secure the bag. But instead of securing the bag, she secured a one-way trip back to China because Department of Homeland Security and authorities were on her ass. As she was trying to meet this victim and basically commit grand larceny, she was met by the local authorities and she was turned over to the Department of Homeland Security because she is not a United States citizen.
HSI is intimately involved with state and local law enforcement. It's one of our strongest assets.
And it allows us to work on local criminal activity and impact crime in local jurisdictions, but also project our investigations internationally and impact transnational criminal organizations anywhere in the world.
I think the larger question here is, why are illegals here from China robbing people and trying to take their money? I mean, it's bad enough that China is sending us over a lot of dangerous drugs like fentanyl, which has been wreaking havoc on our society.
Members of Congress are calling the influx of Chinese fentanyl an act of asymmetric war against the United States.
90% of fentanyl comes from Chinese companies, so subsidized and paid for by the Chinese Communist Party.
In 2022, over 107,000 Americans died from overdoses in the United States, and fentanyl poisoning became the leading cause of death of Americans 18 to 45 years of age.
But then they're also going to be sending in illegals who are going to try to scam you and extort our elderly out of their money. And there's lots of people who believe that this is part of some larger attack by China to pretty much exterminate us and attack us on every level. A lot of the attention on the criminal activity that's being put on by these illegal migrants that are entering the country, it's mostly been about gangs like Tren de Araguas, right? It's mostly been about them taking over apartment complexes in Colorado.
2 Tren de Aragua gang members have been arrested in Aurora on murder charges. Investigators believe they kidnapped 2 juveniles and killed a 33-year-old man in Farmers Branch, Texas back in August. They claim the victim was one of their associates and the group was involved in a complex ATM theft operation across the country. Detectives tell us the 3 gang members shot him because he was withholding money. The Venezuelan nationals will be extradited to Texas, where they will be officially charged with capital murder and aggravated kidnapping.
And beefing with the gangs in Chicago. A lot of the attention has not been on these scammers and a lot of these lower profile criminals that enter the country. They're committing these crimes that are costing Americans a lot of money. So the more violent crimes take attention away from some of the less violent crimes. But scamming is a multi-billion-dollar illegal industry, and it has devastating effects on our society. And as we see with this New York incident with Hui Chen, they were giving this elderly guy instructions on how to package the money and not to put it in a safe deposit box. They're probably going to send it back to China. I mean, they're literally trying to poison us mentally, physically, and financially. So the plan, whether or not these criminals that are entering our country is to do violence or to do us financial harm is always to subvert American interests. Is Hui Chen just a regular illegal that's just out here trying to scam and get a few bucks? Or is China deliberately sending these people here? I mean, because there is a laundry list of Chinese spies that have been arrested or either like on some type of sanctions where they can't travel. But of course, this is just my perspective, and I want you guys to tell me what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if it's not about topics I cover in this video or in other videos, then just don't talk to me.